What's up, guys? Back to channel 4, another reaction. We're taking a look at, I don't think we've reacted to Trivium before. Have we reacted to Trivium? I don't know, but they've been coming out with some new stuff recently, I feel like. But I don't feel like it's been decades since they come out with some new stuff. Is that just me? But don't get me wrong, I know who Trivium is. They are one of those bands that are on the back end for me. Like I know who they are. I've seen them live a couple times, but they're not typically my favorite metal band. They're not typically my favorite sounding metal band. They have that classic, 80s metal sound to them, but they also can do that. They can do some harder hitting stuff. They could do some, heavier hitting modern metal tones and sounding stuff, but they're definitely more technical when it comes to their music, when it comes to their, solo playing style. Matt definitely has his own play style, as well as, Corey. They definitely know how to do that. They definitely know how to shred it up. Just let me say, they definitely know what they're doing on the guitar strings in there. But to me personally, they just don't really hit as hard as I would hope they would do. They don't really have that modern metalcore kind of like heavier tone that some of these bands are doing, which I'm starting to start to like a little bit more. But with these guys, they kind of have that, more melodic, more kind of like chanty, more kind of like crowd work-esque kind of like, metal sound to them. I don't know. That's just what I remember from these guys, especially when the chorus comes around. It's very chanty. It's very sing-along worthy. But I don't know. I haven't really heard them lately. I don't know if they changed their sound. I don't know if they're working on some stuff. I think they announced that they're working on an EP that's coming out fairly soon. I think I saw that somewhere. So I could be wrong on that as well. But either way, it's been quite some time since I heard Trivium. Let me just say, I think the last album that I reacted, I think the last fully fledged album that I listened to from these guys are The Sin in the Sentence or What the Dead Men Say. I feel like those were the last two albums that I kind of, were actually into before I stopped listening to these guys. So I don't know if they came out to one since then. I know that's quite some time now ago, so I'm pretty sure they have released some new stuff. I just wasn't really paying attention, or just haven't seen it rather. But like I said, these guys have been on my back end. Like I said, from when I did listen to those albums, those were my favorite from when I did like these guys. So there are some songs on those albums that I do like, that I used to listen to like on repeat and stuff like that. So don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on these guys. I do like them for some songs from that I used to listen to, but I just haven't really listened to them since then. So we're just gonna have to take a look and see what new stuff, what new twists, what new tricks that Matt has in store for us today, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get started, be sure to comment, really appreciate it, and to really help me out. If you like Trivium as well, be sure to like on this video as well. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by, checking out some awesome minutes, because we're just getting started on these heavy bangers, ladies and gentlemen. No time wasting. Let's get right into it. This is Trivium's newest release track titled Struck Dead. Okay. Okay, Matt. Okay. Oh, we're right in it. Let's get it, man. Oh man! Who hurt you, buddy? It's almost dissonant in a way. It's definitely different. At least from what I remember. Ooh, little blast beat solo piece! Oh, let's go, Corey! Oh, man! So jumpy! Oh, we're gearing up for a breakdown too? Oh, bring those chippies in! Oh, the tappies! Fuck! Oh, bring those classic vibes in! Woo! Solo piece number 2! Let's go, Matt! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh man, these guys love their solos, let me just say. Oh, I love the tap! Oh man, we're not done! We're not done, ladies and gentlemen! Oh, we're building. Oh, we got the bass taps even. Pablo. Oh man, I don't even want to know what the tabs look like for this song. Oh yeah. It definitely brings the aggression though. Fill it up, Alex! Oh man! What a slapper, man! Like I said, it's been a long time since I heard these guys. You know, it's been probably a decade since I've heard these guys. This one definitely is something I was not expecting, man. Definitely something was not expecting. You know, I know they have the classic, you know, upbeat chorus thing in there. They have the classic, you know, melodic stuff. They have the duo solo pieces that they have in every single track. It feels like, but this one felt more powerful, felt more intense. It felt more aggression, especially before the chorus when they're doing the classic, you know, just trippy, you know, rhythm vibe action. It sounded dissonant a little bit, in my opinion. I don't know if that's a little bit of like a mixing kind of thing, but it sounded like it was a little dissonance a little bit when it just amplifies it even more, man. But who pissed off Matt? That's the question I have, because why is he so angry in this one? Because from what I've seen from videos, he was just like this nice, you know, wholesome guy, just wanting to create, you know, metal music just for the fun of it. But then this one just felt like it was much more intense. It just felt like it was like a whole nother wavelength from the previous tracks, man. Because they've had, you know, heavy ones before, in my opinion. I feel like, you know, but I feel like this one is just has that aggression, has that hard hitting tone. It has that, you know, head pounding, you know, intensity actions, especially when it's just the rhythm they're playing there. But I don't know, because if you guys know the whole story, be sure to let me know, because I'm definitely intrigued. But I don't know, maybe it's just them changing the sound, maybe it's just them wanting to be more heavy but still have that classic melodic element. I don't know, but this one is definitely different. nonetheless. Definitely a lot of guitar playing that I haven't seen before from these guys. Like I said, just a simple, triplet pattern at the beginning there. Like I said, simple is always best. You already know what I'm saying, but it's just sometimes you just need those simple trippies, and you just make a song just sound as heavier and more impactful just from those little triplet notes at the beginning there. But then we went into like the chorus kind of thing, which is okay in my opinion. It's not really typically their best strong suit. I feel like, Matt isn't typically the kind of vocalist that I would favor when it comes to clean choruses and stuff like that, because it's very reminiscent of 80s rock. It's very reminiscent of like old school Metallica, kind of like when they do their cleans and stuff like that. So it's definitely reminiscent of that kind of thing, which is not typically my kind of sound, not my type of speed. But they do it anyways, no matter what. But Nat, he's still doing his vocals, he's still doing his screams, his like high screams that he does throughout every single track and song like that, like I said. But then they went into the solo pieces like they always do, man. These guys are master musicians. They've been doing this for decades. They've been doing this for years, and their technique, the precision and where they play these notes are insane, man. These guys have probably one of the best solos, I would say, in a metal band, just because each song has their own unique solo, which is crazy how many solos they write for each song, especially 2 for each song, man, because Corey plays 1 usually, and then Matt plays the second half of it. But it's definitely insane, man, but I like this one. It was very soft. It was very fast paced. We got some tappies in it. It was very fast paced. It was very different, almost like kind of like evil sounding in a way. I was saying, but when they were doing the build up when Corey was doing the taps there, very reminiscent of like old school As I Lay Dying kind of sounding. Very build up sounding when they're going into the breakdown kind of thing. So I like that. Very reminiscent of old school. I thought Tim was gonna come out and start screaming his heart out. That would have been an insane collab. Let me just say, but solo playing is always a 10 out of 10. Solo playing is always nuts. It's very insane to watch, their fingers go up and down the strings from both Corey and Matt there as well. But then Pablo came in. He was doing the taps as well. He was doing the bassline taps, man, which is crazy. I don't think I've seen a band member do that before. I know it's a thing, but I don't think I've actually seen it like on a video per se, I would say, because it's very kind of like hard. You don't really normally see, bass taps. You normally just see like the bass line doing like the rhythm patterns or the rhythm strings. You don't really see bass taps. So that was very interesting and cool to watch. But like I said, everyone's shredding on this track. It was very insane. It was very fast paced. It was just everything was in your face. Alex doing his thing on the drums, man. I believe that's his name. I'm pretty sure. If I do, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I do apologize, but he's been doing his thing on the drum, man. Probably one of the best drum mans out there today. He's just insane. A mastermind at what he does from being in this band. But I think I saw something not too long ago that's saying Alex departed from the band, that he wasn't gonna be the drummer for this band anymore. So what's the deal about that? If you guys have any info on what the whole drama was behind that, be sure to let me know down in the comments as well. Or maybe he just wanted to be in another band, or he just didn't want to be in the band anymore. I don't know, but I think I saw an article saying that he left the band as well. So be sure to let me know on that if I heard it correctly. I could be wrong, but these guys are just a very group of talented people nonetheless. They have their own unique techniques. They have their own unique layers of professionality to them, especially because they take this very seriously. I see Matt over the years, he's just very technical. He's very precise on his precision. He's very he practices like pretty much no matter he practices so much, probably more than any other band member out there. He's just very insane. He's very in tune with his unique craft. He's very strict on like his his play style. He's very his as a whole band member as well. So I don't know, that could have been an issue for some of the band members. It's a very intense job. It's a very intense thing. So maybe Matt was being a little bit too strict with everything. I don't know, that could be like a possibility. But from back in the day, from when I used to see these guys, when Matt used to do his live streams over on Twitch, he used to play like all these songs live. He used to practice singing. He used to do all these like instrumental videos and stuff like that, which is very cool to see. I don't know if he does that anymore. I don't know if he was just doing that for like a part-time thing over the past couple of years, but he seemed a very pretty wholesome guy on that sort of thing. But who knows what could happen behind the scenes. Band members disagree on lots of various things, so who knows what could have happened. But these guys are definitely insane. Like I said, they're not typically one of the bands I would go out to listen to out on my free time. At least not anymore. Like I've kind of grown into more of like the heavier kind of like aspect of metal. But these guys definitely from back in the day, I definitely did like some of their tracks. I definitely did like some of their older albums, stuff like that. So be sure to Heart From Your Hate probably one of my favorite ones from back in the day to listen to, as well as Silence in the Snow, another heavy hitting one. So I definitely so I know some of their older tracks, so I definitely know some of the stuff, but for the newest stuff, I kind of don't really know. So if there's any more new tracks that they came out recently that I haven't heard about, or that I maybe have missed, or if there's any news of the new album coming out, be sure to let me know down in the comments as well. And you might have to check those ones out for you guys in the near future. But also on the vocal side of things, Matt, he's typically not really the best in my opinion when it comes to metal screaming and metal vocals and stuff like that as well, because each song kind of sounds the same in my opinion, just because he doesn't really have so much range. He doesn't really have that much vocal capabilities when it comes to a metal singer, in my opinion. I could get a lot of hate for that, but just to me personally, he doesn't really have the power, I would say, to do like high screams, to do lower kind of screams, or like especially when he does cleaning, singing, stuff like that. It just sounds like loud talking in my opinion. But so that's kind of why I feel like these guys aren't typically one of my favorite bands to go out and listen to, just because of that. But he's making it work. Some people are more gifted than others. Some people can scream, some people can growl, some people cannot even sing when they can just do the growls. But he's doing it all, so I know props to him on that. But to me personally, I just feel like he's not really my favorite metal vocalist. But I don't mean any hate on the guy. It's just, for me personally, I just feel like he's not really typically one of my favorite ones to go out and listen to. But yeah, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially new here, because we're going through everything bang on the channel, turn on us out on a single one. Guarantee that. I'll see you guys in the next one.